Hello, everybody. Oops, get my chair together. A little roughed up. I just went to a little get together earlier this evening. Anyhow, Jean Henderson Pierre, the Beer TV Rambo, looking at Dos Equis Especial. Stay thirsty, my friends. I did a review of this beer with my good friend Ronald J. Terrio. Excuse me. Let me open up the beer. All right. Ow, that hurt. I do it the old-fashioned way. Anyhow, it gets a 63, 64 score on Beer Advocate. Depends on who, and the bros. So that means they're not happy with this beer. Beer Advocate says it's 4.3 ABV. The website says it's 4.5 or 4.45. Rounded off 4.5. I always go with 4.5. Excuse me, I'll go with 4.3 on Beer Advocate since it is what it is. This beer came out in 1897. 1897. It is a adjunct lager. The company, which I don't ask me to pronounce the name, but it's in Monterrey, Mexico. I'm going to do my best in Spanish to speak it. It is Cerveza, Montesina, SADACV in Monterrey, Mexico. And it is imported by Cerveza Mexican, White Plains, New York, but it's all under the Heineken International Group. So, leave it right there. Of course, everybody knows about this beer. Of course, the actor Jonathan Goldsmith, of course, Dos Equis came out with the advertising, and Heineken International. You know, sort of the scene where he's battling bears, he surfs, he's great at croquet or racquetball, whatever. He is the most interesting man in the world. I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I drink Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends. Of course, recently in the news, you've probably seen that he's going to stop. The actor Jonathan Goldsmith will stop doing commercials. I guess not wanting to be typecast, but he's made a lot of money. So has Dos Equis. Uh, so um, this beer is quite popular in a lot of the Mexican restaurants. You see it. Any bar you go to, I'm at the stores, I'm at that they've been selling. I'm at the advertising really has helped the sales of this beer tremendously, more so than the Ambar, which is probably to me in my mind a better beer than this. And I've had this before, so but cans. They have a margarita la marita style, which is I think the ABV. I could be wrong on this. Forgive me, but I think it's about 7%. I think so. It is a very decent, very well made beer. So here we go. So you look at the texture, not much lacing, a lot of fizz right here. Scent. It has a scent of a bread smell. Maybe my brand may not be that great. I'm trying to look at the born on date on this. I'm drinking a lot of beer this past couple of days. What the damn hell is the born on date on this son of a bitch? By German brewmaster who blended his brewing heritage. I don't see the born on date on this thing here. No, somewhere on this bottle. There it is. Looks like the beer came out and sure. Forgive me, folks. I'm trying to look in the light as best I can. DOJ. I don't freaking see it. Okay, I see it now. It's like it says 2016. Hmm. This beer was in January 16th. So maybe a couple of 2 months old, I guess. But oh, has that very breads, as I mentioned, very burnt bread smell. Don't know why, for being an adjunct lager. Has a very bit of hop characters to it. Again, 4.3. A lot of these Euro beers or these beers overseas, as I said before many times, a lot of my reviews have a very high ABV. You think it does, just by the materials and how they put it together, but it's only 4 point, only in the 4 range. So between the 4 and 5 range. So you thinking you're drinking like a 7%, 6% or 7 or 5, or between a 5 or 6% beer, but you're not. It's between 4 and 5%. So on to the taste. You know, your standard adjunct taste. Like I said, it just has that sort of burnt bread sort of character to it that I'm just trying to understand why that is. Most adjunct lagers don't have that, but I guess this does. Hmm. You know, I mean, like I said, I've never really been a big fan of this. I mean, if you get between the two, do a choice between this and the Ambar, and say Ember, but Embar, I would choose the Ambar over this. I think it has a better character than this beer. So that's just my opinion, folks. You don't have to like, you don't have to agree. It's just an opinion. So um, I don't know, folks. Call me crazy to say this, but it's just not something I'm. Again, it's a good beer. Tortillas, tacos. I mean, even nacho cheese, then even a darn grill hot dog. I mean, that would go good with this. I mean, wings. Very with say sweet and hot, sweet, hot. With a sweet little taste to it of chile style wings. Honey hot style wings. This beer will go great with this. Of course, skins. I mean, what adjunct lagers most tend to go with burgers and fries. So, um, I'm like I said, I'm just like, I don't know, guys. I'm. It's a good beer. I mean, it's not something I would. I guess, like I said, the Ambar would pick over this any time. So I did a review. Like I said, I did a review of Ron J. Terrio. We were all talking about this beer, and it wasn't really anything special to me on this. But I think it's okay, not great. I'm going to give this beer an 8. I mean, people are going to say I'm crazy. What are you talking about? You're nuts. You don't know what you're talking about. But that's just my opinion on it. There's a guy who talks about malt liquor as being the best thing out there. I said, yeah, but also I talk about some IPAs that are good, some stouts that are good. That's just my opinion. My opinion. You can have a different opinion. That's great. But you don't have to dislike me. You don't have to hate me. You can just say, hey, you're wrong. And just leave it right there. Let's not go overboard. I'm a man of peace. I want to love the world. Love is the answer. England, Dan, and John for Coley, by the way. Great song. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. And it comes to beer. Love is the answer. Anyhow, I'm going to give this beer an 8, folks. If I'm nuts or crazy and you think, otherwise, leave your comments on the bottom of this. And that's my feelings on Dos Equis. Good beer, perfect for outside, perfect for, as I mentioned, those dishes that I mentioned you could pair it with. But like I said, it's an 8 for me. I could bring this to a dinner party, just for the guests, appease the guests. My regular folks probably get maybe a Budweiser or something, but anyway, leave your comments on the bottom. Won't go on any longer. Beer TV Ramble telling you all to keep watching, and as always, cheers.